Hi everybody, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday the 13th of February 2019. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Thanks for joining me. Before I do the reading, I just want to let you know that if you order a reading with me before Valentine's Day, so Thursday the 14th of February, I'm going to give you 10% off on all regular readings and urgent readings. That's my Valentine's Day present to you guys because I love you. So order the reading as you usually would. Just go to gregoryscott.com and order the regular or urgent reading on the page for the regular price. And I will then go in manually into PayPal and I will refund you the 10%. Okay, so anytime before Thursday the 14th, let's have a look at what the cards want you to know for Wednesday the 13th of February, what energy you're going to be working with. And as I'm shuffling the cards, I just tune into the day's energy and then ask the tarot to give me some detailed answers. So these readings are for all signs of the zodiac. Everyone who watches, please share the video and hit the subscribe button if you want to be notified of new videos coming out. So let's have a look. We've got the King of Wands. I need to get a new one of these decks soon. This is my third one. I wear them out after a while, so I like my cards clean. I'm a Virgo, so I like brand new decks. All right, so first of all, we got the King of Wands, the Ace of Wands in reverse, and the Page of Cups. So what this means is that altogether, the Page of Cups is someone who's learning emotionally. The King of Wands is someone who's really in control of his life purpose, who's in charge, who's fired up, but who can also use anger and aggression to serve purpose, a particular purpose when it's needed. Like if someone is threatening his family, for instance, then he will stand up for himself and assert himself. And he's got the element of fire under control as much as anyone can get it under control. What I'm getting for today is that there may be some anger coming up that isn't going to lead to real growth, but that's about emotional insecurity or emotional fear. So it's a kind of warning today. If you want things to grow in a positive way, don't be overly reactive when it comes to your feelings and go into anger and fire mode. Instead, look at the feelings and say, is this something that has to do with me, or is it the real thing? Is this something that is justified? Or am I acting out of insecurity? Or am I acting out of, a memory when I was 10 and someone did something to me, and I'm sure not gonna let anyone do that to me ever again. So the King of Wands is the top of the court cards as far as the element of fire is concerned. First we have the Page of Wands, then we have the Knight of Wands, and then the King of Wands. And we always have these little lizards with the King of Wands, and I always associate that with him having really outlandish, fiery, almost extraterrestrial ideas. He's connected to the higher realms. In astrology, the 9th house of education and the higher realms and higher knowledge is ruled by the fire sign Sagittarius, and he embodies that very well. So he's got this red cloak, he's passionate, he's got this yellow lizard cape there, which makes him happy. He loves to learn, he likes to discover new things. He likes to discover unconventional things. So out of all of the kings, he's the most unconventional out of all of them because his knowledge has no limits. He's interested in absolutely everything. He's got this green cloak around the center of him, which soothes him, and he's acting with his true nature. So he's not going to appear as like this red-faced, screaming, angry man all the time, or as someone who's seething. he's calm, he's cool, he's natural, and this kind of, the necklace reminds me of a lion. So kind of most people who get to know him will see this top part and they'll see this is a really clever guy, but there is a lion kind of lurking within him, and it's probably not a good idea to mess with him. So in terms of actual people, if this is an actual person cropping up in your life today, it's a man who commands respect without really saying anything. It's just someone who has that air of confidence about them. The King of Wands also is living his true life purpose. It's constantly growing, and he's always looking for more information. And we've got the lizards and the lions here in the background. And it's always it's the fire, the lion, that motivates him to find out new things. And it's the motivation that takes him places where he has to be really open-minded to see what's out there and not to just believe any stupid conspiracy theory, but to really connect with the higher realms and his higher self, and to wade through loads of information and see what actually has merit and what doesn't. The Ace of Wands is a gift from the universe. It hands you your life purpose. It says, here you go, little Annie, you're going to be a veterinarian when you grow up. And then Annie can take all the classes at school that she needs and do well at maths and biology and science and all the things she needs to get into medical school. And it's a nice little gift from the universe, especially... Just gonna wait for this siren to go by. Especially if you, as a child, know what you're doing. I always talk about this. I think it's such a blessing if you know what you want to do, because then you can really plan your life around it so that you can grow in that direction and you can be in the castle that you always wanted to be in. Today, that's in reverse. So there's no freebies. The universe isn't just gonna say, here you go, this is your life purpose. It's asking you to look and learn and to discover yourself and to kind of figure things out and to continue on your search for meaning in life. But life purpose, and especially if you apply it to things like vocational aptitudes, that's where people like myself come in, astrologers and intuitive tarot readers, because in your astrology chart, I can really easily see what your life purpose is, what your vocational aptitudes are, what your strengths and weaknesses are. I went to a vocational psychologist when I was 18, and they gave me the options of what did they give me? Lawyer, industrial psychologist, or journalist. And I went with journalism because I liked writing at the time. So it's not going to poof in some sort of magic moment appear in your mind's eye, oh, I should be a chiropractor. It's not going to happen today. Instead, what you'll find is that your emotions are a little bit wonky. So the king has mastered the element of wands. He's the most experienced. The knight is in the middle somewhere, and the least experienced is the page. The page is just anybody who's just starting to deal with the element. He's covered in blue, so he's really taking this seriously. He wants to grow. So we've got these flowers there which show his hopefulness and his desire to do things. Cute little fishy sticking its head out of the cup. So he's learning about feelings. And the element of water rules quite a lot of things. It rules spirituality, intuition and psychic ability, creativity, so art, music, and also family and nurturing family members. And that's a lot. And that's, each one of those can be a lifelong mission or a lifelong purpose. So he's very passionate about learning all about these things. The waters are pretty stable today, but if he is asked to really endure something very difficult today and he has to help, so if there's some sort of a crisis, like if an elderly parent is sick and that elderly parent is by themselves and he's got two siblings, he's not going to know whether he should go visit and be there for the parent, or whether they can do it themselves, or whether one of the siblings should go. He's going to get confused in his feelings rather than taking action based on some emergency. So he's not that good at listening to his intuition. He's not that connected with his higher power. If he were, which he can progress, become the knight and the king by meditating, by joining a psychic development group, by using things that uses intuition and practice it like a muscle. So that would then, for instance, intuitively give him the message, it's best if, Sister One goes, because she's the most nurturing and she's most nearby and she's got the most time, for instance, okay? So today, if something comes up emotionally, you may not have the emotional tools to deal with it, is what I'm saying. And you may be surprised, and it's something that you're going to learn from, but take it as that. He's got a lot of red here: passion, life purpose, and growth. So the emotional experience that he might not be equipped for, that he can't intuitively just react to, and that kind of gets him stuck, or just he doesn't know what to do. The answer isn't to then, because I don't know what to do, I'm just going to get angry and throw a temper tantrum. The answer is to try and find a way forward and to learn from that experience. And that will then train his intuition so that next time, and experience so that next time he knows how to react in a certain circumstance. So today is about self-discipline, it's about self-control, and it's about using the other side of fire, warming and nurturing as well. And there's nothing as cozy as a fire when it's snowing outside. So if anything, if there is some emotional thing that you don't know how to deal with, if a friend of yours is crying and saying they're so upset and they don't know what to do with their sick husband, and you just don't know what to say to make them feel better, then it's just your warmth and your presence that's required. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be there for that person and just make a connection. And not say, buck up and snap out of it, he'll be fine. Aggressively dismiss their feelings. It's just letting other people have their feelings, being there with them, just in the moment, and just allowing that other person, for instance, to realize that there's someone else there who's feeling what they're feeling, and they're sharing an experience together. That can often be much more useful than someone telling you, okay, you should do A, B, C, D, E. It's just about, wow, there's someone else here who loves me. The king and the ace and the page, they're all court cards, and the ace is the first card of the suit of 1, so that's also a 1. So 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. 3 is about communication, so the way you think and the way you communicate with yourself today is important. Have a little bit of discipline there. And it's about new beginnings. So being in that situation, for instance, that you don't know how to handle, by learning new skills, could create an opportunity, a doorway for you to realize something about yourself and to move in a different direction and to turn this around and to say, oh wow, I just had this emotional experience. I now want to work as a psychologist because that really struck a nerve in me and I want to understand more, or I want to study psychology, for instance, and then that would be a life purpose. So that's what I get for you today. If you would like a personal reading, then please visit the website, gregoryscott.com, and click on the readings tab to audio reading. Remember that just order the regular reading or the urgent reading, and I will do the 10% discount manually until Valentine's Day. In my personal readings, I use the tarot, astrology, and numerology. The astrology is like a blueprint of your soul. It shows me what your vocational aptitudes are, what your life purpose is, love, health, family, friends, what's coming up in future in those areas as well, and what your strengths and weaknesses are, what you need to work on, what needs to be overcome for you to live your truest, most positive self and to actualize your potential. So if you have any questions at all as well, I can answer those in a personal reading. So head over to the website, gregoryscott.com. Have a wonderful day. Please share the video and hit the subscribe button, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.